Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we take a look at the new Epic Evolution Wild Roar Hesperosaurus. This is a species I was really excited for when it was announced. There's no Hesperosaurus figures on the market. I am a huge fan of the Morrison formation, so every time I get a Morrison formation dinosaur in some form, even if it's Mattel, I'm really excited for it. So I end up finding this figure at my local Walmart. Holiday shopping season, stores are cranking out products, so it's probably the easiest time to find all this new stuff. So let's just go over the packaging really quick before we crack open this cool looking Stegosaur. Comes in the new Epic Evolution Wild Raw packaging. We got the Jurassic logo up here, Epic Evolution logo down here. Let's get the camera to focus in just a little bit clearer. It comes from a swamp biome. I like how the theme with Epic Evolution, like a lot of the color schemes are matching, the environment that these animals are supposed to be coming from. So that's a really cool touch because this is all decked out in all sorts of green, swampy colors. And then spin it around, you get a picture of how the Wild War action works on the Hesperosaurus, and down here are the other figures available in this assortment. We get a lot of new species in Epic Evolution. I picked up the Megalosaurus, already reviewed the Crintonatosaurus, and the Griposuchus was the only one not on the shelf. I think there was one like on the top shelf when I was there. I could barely see it, and I really wasn't going to climb up there and get it. I'll eventually get my hands on this one. Just really happy that I picked up the three I really wanted from this assortment. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack this figure open and take a closer look. And here's the Hesperosaurus. The packaging in a really cool figure. It does have kind of, some cartoony proportions to it, but I'm just really happy to have a Hesperosaurus figure. Now, it is very similar looking to Stegosaurus. It's actually found in an older layer of the Morrison formation where no Stegosaurus fossil have been found. So it is a new species. It's very similar to Stegosaurus, but had these very round oval-shaped plates on its back, and there's some other skeletal differences that we really don't need to go into on a Mattel review. But yeah, overall a cool looking figure. Sparse paint apps, but the color scheme works for it. The body's dark green. You have these lighter green plates on the back, and all the plates are plastic inserts. They're not painted other than the ones on the neck. The only complaint I have about the paint apps, I wish the thagomizers were painted in, and you have a little bit of a white splotching on the side. And the head has these really bright orange eyes, which looks kind of weird on herbivores. It feels like something that should be on a carnivore figure. But all around, I like the figure. I'm really happy to finally add this obscure species of Stegosaur to the collection. And now for some measurements. This figure is 10.5 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of that spiked tail, or 26.7 centimeters, and 5.5 inches tall to the highest plate above the hips, or just under 14 centimeters. So Hesperosaurus in real life was around 21 feet long, or 6.5 meters. So I'll put this figure in the 124 scale range. And now let's zoom and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure. Starting with the head, very cartoony looking head, but I think it gives it a very, endearing, charming look to it. The beak is painted light gray. You can see the nostrils sculpted in on the beak. The eye is painted a bright orange. Mattel's doing the thing I don't like what they do with their eyes. The eye is painted in, but the pupil is just a base plastic underneath, so it has a green pupil. I just really don't like that look. A little bit of white markings underneath the eye. You can see the plates on the back are painted to match the plates on the rest of the body, which are actually cast in plaques. It has some really nice color matching going there. Here's a view of the head from the top. Here's a view on the bottom. Would like to see some kind of paint for the underside of the throat and belly, just to give it a little bit more definition. Going to the plates are really nicely done. You can see all these nice details on the keratin sheet that covered the plates. Actually, Hesperosaurus was the first Stegosaur found. I guess it was an impression of the keratin sheet that covered the plates. It's really cool. So it is an important species of Stegosaur. Front legs are nicely done. The claws are not painted in, which is pretty typical for most of the mainline figures. Going down to the hind legs, you can see they're nicely muscular, lots of nice scale detail. There's like an orange flecking that is mixed in with the green plastic, and I kind of don't like the look of that. It's just you get some bright orange flecks here and there. It kind of looks like the paint machine, the factory sprayed it, but those are actually flecks mixed in with the plastic. And then going down to the tail, you can see the Thagomites are nicely sculpted. It's a soft rubber piece. This actually have to be attached once you take the figure out of the packaging. It's not really color matched to the rest of the body because it is a softer material. But like I said, I wish these were painted in. It would look much, much better. And then right here, I actually love, how the DNA code is hidden on the Stegosaur figure. It's always attached to the plates. Here is the DNA code for those who want to scan this into the Fax app. And for articulation, it's pretty basic. I wish there was some up and down articulation on the neck. That would have been really cool, but front legs move forwards and backwards. They are hinged to allow you to swing the legs out for whatever reason you would like. Hind legs, backwards and forwards, and there's a little bit of a hip pivot in there. It's very tight, not as good as it's been on some older figures. I noticed that with the Dinosaurs, that the hip pivot is just really tight and a little bit crunchy. This is the one time I will not complain about the useless tail rotation. It actually works really well on this with the Thagomites. You can position them different ways. And then right here, there's a dial right here for the new action feature for these Wild Raw figures. You just rotate it, roll it forward, and of course the tail will swing side to side. And I like how there's a lot of friction with this. You can just rotate a little bit and keep the tail positioned wherever way you like. It doesn't really need to snap back until you get all the way down. So that's definitely a cool articulation. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it was intended, but the friction on this new action feature is making posability much, much easier. Moving on with comparisons, here it is with the Hammer Collection Robert Muldoon. And next up, let's compare it to its very, very, very close relative, Stegosaurus. You can just see the difference with the plate shapes with these two species. And one thing I just want to point out quick, now that we have a Hammer Collection Carnotaurus in a new size scale, really hope Stegosaurus is the next one that we get in that Hammer Collection scale, because that's something that's much, much needed for our collections. And let's do a couple other Stegosaurs. Here it is with Kentrosaurus, Gigant Spinosaurus, and Epic Evolution Tojangasaurus. And next up, here it is with the amazing Hammer Collection Carnotaurus. And let's just finish this up with a couple more Epic Evolution comparisons. Here it is with the recently reviewed Acrixonautosaurus. And here it is with Avaceratops and Caprosuchus. So final thoughts on Mattel's Hesperosaurus. I really enjoyed Mattel's just doing a lot of obscure species lately. Some people don't like that. Oh, concentrate on the movies, concentrate on the movies. There's only so many dinosaurs that showed up in the movie. There's only so many versions you can do of those. So I really enjoy Mattel doing these obscure species. And Hesperosaurus is a species of dinosaur I've been wanting for a collection for a very long time. Hopefully some of the more accurate toy companies actually does this species, because I just absolutely love adding to my Morrison Formation collection shelf. So yeah, cool looking figure. The paint apps are fine. They're pretty sparse, but it's more cohesive looking because all the plates are actually painted in. Usually Mattel will stop right here before the tail and leave everything unpainted, so it does give it a better overall look. I like the action feature, just that friction with the action feature makes it much easier to pose these figures. You don't feel like it's limited by the action feature now. So yeah, all around cool looking figure. Like I said at the beginning of my review, go check your Walmarts. That's where a lot of people are finding these. Like they just started hitting store shelves, so definitely keep up the hunt if you're trying to track these down. So that will do it for the review. Just gotta review the Megalosaurus, and hopefully I find the Griposuchus soon, so I can round out these Wild Raw reviews. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.